Hello everybody, welcome back to CryptidCast. This is a show where we talk about cryptids. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about the Wendigo, so you can stay tuned for that. Today's episode is actually not sponsored by anybody, so please give us money if you want to do that. So first of all, we're going to start with introductions real quick. Let's just talk about who we are and kind of what we do on the show. I'll start. I'm Sam and I'm going to be the moderator.
Hi, I'm Kameron Anderson and I'm still an amateur zoologist or cryptozoologist.
I'm McKayla. I'm also still an amateur cryptozoologist.
I'm Joey Perry and I was saying hi to you still. I really didn't want to be here.
Great. Okay, so we're also, as part of this introduction, going to be talking about the cryptids that associate with our astrological signs.
Even more hocus pocus.
So Sam, what are you?
So I'm a Leo, which means my cryptid is a Yeti.
Fancy. I'm a Capricorn, so what am I?
Capricorn, you are a sewer gator.
Sewer gator! Sounds good to me.
How's a cryptid?
I don't know.
What are you?
I think of the iPad game.
Like the one where you have to give the water to the...
Yeah, where's my water?
Yeah, where's my water? Yeah.
Oh.
Great game.
Alright.
I'm Gemini.
Gemini, you would be a alien big cat.
Alien big
awesome.
cat!
I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome.
Joey, what are you?
I'm Leo as well, but
Leo?
I'm not going to believe in this. It's like, hey, let's make it... What can we make even more baloney? Let's put in more baloney. Surely that'll help.
Makes
Whatever
it
you
fun.
say, Joey.
Okay.
I'm trying to help the kiddos at home by not swearing as much.
I'm sure they appreciate it. Okay.
Then again, most kids
So, great. Okay. So also, before we begin, we're going to be talking a little bit about Thunder the Bleacher Creature. Thunder, the Bleacher Creature, is missing. He's been gone for too long. It needs to be returned. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Thunder, please contact us at CryptidCastPodcast@gmail.com. Joey has graciously offered to put $25 to whoever...
Soda can.
Also, soda can, $25, and a soda can. Let's get that straight.
Very important. Could be yours.
Last sightings were in 1994, so good luck. But yes,
Soda of your choice.
so your choice, and $25. $25.
Of your choice.
Alright, so let's begin. So we're talking about the Wendigo today, right?
Yes, we are.
We'll talk about
I was
You know,
leading research this time, and I came prepared with notes in it. I mean, we all have notes, but I wrote in my notes.
What I'm hearing is Wendigo, not Wendigo.
Wendigo.
It's like
Wendigo.
saying windy when you mean a girl's name Wendy.
Well, my notes actually talk about wind at some point, so we'll get to that.
Oh, because it's full of hot air.
Sure. So, location-wise, the Wendigo, location-wise, is seen in Canada, and my main area for Canada is up in Winnipeg, like the Winnipeg, Manitoba area. Also, in Ontario, there's this thing called the Wendigo Cave. Wendigo Cave it's by Lake Mamigues. It's by Ontario. You can figure out what the actual name for it is, and it's got strange cave paintings of what seem to be Wendigos, which is very interesting. I would like to go sometime, but who knows if I'll ever get to go. Seems like a pretty place to be. And then we have Minnesota. An interesting tidbit about the Minnesota Wendigo sightings is that they were in Roseau. And we all know a person that we used to work with that used to live in Roseau. So it would have been interesting to see if he knew any about it, but he left before we could ask him, so don't know too much about it. Yeah, he didn't die, but he went full-time school. So anyways, he's gone. But the Wendigo sightings happened between the 1800s and the 1920s. And the sightings there were sightings, and then later after the sightings, an unexpected death occurred. And this went on for over like 100 years. It went over for around 100 years until the sighting stopped and the unexpected death stopped, which I thought was interesting. And then we have Maine, and that is the home to the Algonquian Indians. I probably butchered that name, I feel really bad.
It says here Stephen Kingus.
That's not what it says, but...
Ojibwe.
No. Right,
Okay.
yeah, we have Ojibwe later, but the Algonquian or Algonquian, they are the main Indian tribe that's spoken about legends of the Wendigo, and they're very interesting. And in Maine, there's this area called the North Maine Woods, and it's had some Wendigo sightings, and they speak of it as a Indian devil. And apparently, it is around 8 feet, 9 feet tall, and it makes moaning wind sounds. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really creepy, and I don't want to hear it ever in my life. So, yeah, that's locations. Time-wise, it's been here for a very long time. I wrote down long time before white men came to America. Ojibwa legends and Algonquinian legends.
Depends on which white men are we talking about, the Vikings or the Pilgrims?
All white men.
So, before the Vikings.
Yes, all white men. Very long time. And the Ojibwa legends and Algonquinian legends, I'm sorry, butchering my name. But their legends are very similar. They speak of a man who, in need of survival, resorted to cannibalism, and the Wendigo spirit possessed him, and he became a creature that only consumes human flesh. Appearance-wise, this is a quote from Basil Johnston. He's a Ojibwa teacher and scholar in Ontario, Canada, and he described it as, "The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation. Its desiccated skin pulled tautly over its bones, with its bones pushing out against its skin. Its complexion, the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like death, looked like a gaunt skeleton recently discerned from the grave. With what lips it had were tattered and bloody. Its body was unclean and suffering from suppurations of the flesh, giving a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption."
That just sounds like Doomsday.
A little different, because Doomsday is like buff. Wendigos are like,
Yeah, but... okay,
like
so
bones, like, it doesn't eat.
Doomsday doesn't eat.
Like, it eats, but it's like, it has the appearance that it doesn't eat.
So it's a black hole in its gut?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what kind of abilities does Wendigo have?
Well, like I said earlier, cannibals.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
That's a power!
I mean, it's an ability. It eats people. It's a cannibal. It's what it's got going for it. And then
Oh.
the Wendigo spirit I spoke about earlier that possess, apparently that is like, it's like a ghosty, like, Wendigo-looking creature, and it's reportedly 15 feet tall. Kind of scary.
It also apparently can mimic sound.
Voices.
So,
That
yeah.
was, I don't know, I saw that in the Until Dawn game. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I think that's part of the legend.
It's really creepy. So, like...
Spoiler alert.
So Joey, what are your thoughts so far about the Wendigo monster?
Well, I believe he's real as the Hulk. Because they fought. Didn't you know? The Wendigo fought the Hulk. It's true, look it up. Right now.
I believe. Yeah.
I trust your
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. I saw that when I was looking up stuff.
See, he's real.
I was researching.
Obviously, it's like, even though he, but again, it's ridiculous, and it's like obviously these are all major coincidences. It's like the Mummy's Curse. All these coincidental deaths, like people say, oh, it was the Mummy's Curse that killed the guy, but in reality, it was just plague from, either from cannibalism or, some weird stuff, not this supernatural mumbo jumbo word.
Go on.
Okay, but again, I'll explain further on my explanations on all this later on. I'm just saying, no, the Wendigo is not real.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the history, the background. You have some-
history. I have some really interesting stories reportedly from the history. There's this thing called the Fiddler case up in Canada with the Ojibwa Swampy Sucker Clan tribe up north.
I'm sorry, what was it called?
It's got multiple names. I couldn't find exact names of tribes. He was a part of at least 3 different tribes, I'm pretty sure. It was the most notable tribe he was part of was called the Sucker tribe.
So
The Sucker Clan.
So I'm surprised that we are not, you guys are not talking about the Skinwalker, which practically is the same thing.
Skinwalker's different. We'll get to that in the future.
Coming soon.
And we had Joe. We're talking about travel.
We're gonna practically talk about the same thing.
Skinwalkers are different, especially with Skinwalker Ranch. Very different.
Well, Skinwalker Ranch. I'm pretty sure George Lucas used to own it.
No, that's Skywalker Ranch. But yeah, Skinwalker. We're thinking about doing some traveling episodes and inner episodes. If I ever see a Skinwalker, I'm done. I'm out of the game. Skinwalkers, I'm done. I'm done. If I ever see a Skinwalker, they're scary as hell. I'm scared.
Aren't we technically walking our own skin?
Yep. Well, anyways, back to the history of the Fiddler case.
Pop out of your skull like this.
So,
and just jump around with bones.
So very interestingly enough, over 100 years ago, in 1910s, in that area, there was a man named Jack Fiddler. He had a more complex name, but I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to go by Jack Fiddler.
How can you go how is it complex? How?
Well, he was a member of an Indian tribe, and it was a very complex name to say, and I prefer just to call him Jack Fiddler. If you want to look it up, you can look it up. It's a very interesting look. And he was the member of the Sucker Clan tribe in Canada, and he reportedly killed 14 Wendigos.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
Of course.
The 14th one ended up with him and his son Joseph Fiddler being convicted of murder, so...
Wow. That escalated real quickly.
I got some answers for that.
Yeah, they were convicted of murder for reportedly killing a woman. That it was actually Joseph, I believe Joseph Fiddler's daughter, mother, something-in-law, like he was kind of related to her in a sense, and they killed her before she could turn into a Wendigo, and the Canadian government got word of this, and they had none of it. So they convicted both of them, and they both went to prison, and before they could get their full trials up, Jack escaped and hung himself, sticking to the fact that he was only killing Wendigos. His son Joseph, though, went to the trial and was sentenced to death, but he got some appeals going for him, but he ultimately did get hung. So.
I have
Jack?
a question about this.
What?
I have a question about
Yeah.
this. So if he killed himself, did he think he was a Wendigo? Is that why he killed
Yeah,
himself?
I don't think. Well,
see, here's the thing about that. When what you're saying is actually raising a point in my point of, no, it's not real.
well, to become a Wendigo, well, according to most legends, you have to eat someone.
Well, I thought it was also being very greedy. I looked this up too. It's I'll explain later on the reasons behind it.
I saw the greedy ones, but none of the legends really back the one up. The most notable one I saw was the first Wendigo was a tribesman who wanted the power to
flesh.
No, it was the power to defend his nation, so he made a deal with the devil, and he turned into a Wendigo. And after the conflict was over to protect his tribe,
And then he rode a flaming horse skeleton, and then became the Ghost Rider.
his tribe outcasted him from his tribe. But yes, also another tidbit, Jack was 87 years old when he hung himself, so he had been doing this most of his life.
Wow.
Interesting.
Experienced guy.
Very experienced guy. But I do not believe that he believed he was going to turn into a Wendigo. I think he just kind of felt guilty for what he did. But maybe he's too long. I don't know.
So, what about the first sightings? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Well, it's mostly Native American legend again, which is pretty interesting. We went over that earlier though. And so the biggest thing I thought was first white settlers coming to America, going to Maine, that Maine area, East Coastern, going to Minnesota, French going to Canada, and them having sightings of these beasts, which is kind of interesting. They didn't even hear the legends they had sightings of the monster. Very interesting. I mean, there was the Roseau sightings in the 1800s and 1920s, which were really interesting with unexpected deaths. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And the Wendigo plays a big part in a lot of entertainment too.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. Most notably in Until Dawn, which that was the main monster of Until Dawn, and then Supernatural. You guys seen Supernatural?
Yeah.
The second episode of the first season was actually an episode about the Wendigo. It was called Untitled Wendigo. Really scary episode, and it followed the folklore, and Until Dawn follows the folklore pretty well too. And then Grimm, the TV show, has the Wendigo in it, and you had another one too, didn't you?
There was Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter, yeah.
The cavern, the guy who was in Silence of the Lambs. Dr. Hannibal
I don't know, I
Lecter.
never saw it. I just saw it when I
Anthony.
I don't think it's
Hopkins.
that version of it. I think there's just like a spin-off version because Hannibal Lecter eats people, so it's
think it's like the TV show.
yeah,
Hannibal.
Hannibal. I think we're
Oh,
into it
yeah,
and stuff.
definitely not.
And then there's the Marvel character with Hulk versus
Right, and
Wendigo.
the only good reason to be interested in X-Men Origins, the video game, like there was a strike team called the Wendigos. Obviously, reference to the guy. Again, it's just big old whatever.
There's actually a lot in video games, like Wendigos.
Yeah.
Because I know there's like, you guys ever heard Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Wendigos in
Never heard
there.
of this Final Fantasy game before.
Never?
Never.
Ever?
Never,
Okay.
ever.
Well, it's like what 17, whatever.
But it's actually pretty common.
But yeah. But again, let me just make a statement. It's like, if you believe in something, go ahead and believe in it. I mean, I'm Catholic. Doesn't mean you should believe in God. That's just what I'm gonna say. Tell
Yeah, we
something
lost all our
later.
Catholic viewers now.
Like there would be.
First we lost the Mormons, then we lost the
We're
Catholics.
losing all of them. Yeah.
Next, let's lose the Amish.
Amish aren't watching this one.
Oh, now you lost all the Amish audience.
We didn't have any.
Viewers!
Who knows? Have you never?
I know.
Have you never heard of Rumspringa?
What?
Rumspringa. It's a technical rite of passage. They live in the modern day to deal with the sins and choose whether or not they want to live in sin or not.
Oh, they have a show on that. It's like, I don't know, it's on DLC.
Yeah, there was a show called High School USA where I learned more
Talk
about.
about Amish Mafia.
No, it was like about Amish gone wild. Why are we talking about Amish?
Because we lost all the Amish audience.
Okay. So, alright, so let's talk now. Cam, you know somebody who has some stories about Wendigo too, right?
A friend I met at a summer camp. She lives up in Manitoba area and in the Cree Reservation Res area. And she knows some people, and actually 2 girls went missing in her area, in an area that was sighted with Wendigos, and it's really scary. She sent me a recording of it, and I honestly got too many chills from it. I didn't think anyone needed to hear it. I thought it was too scary for me to hear it. So like,
You brought up a bunch of stuff right here, like blah da da, yet you didn't have audio evidence.
I have that recording on my phone. I just think it's really scary.
Oh,
I don't want us to. Also, it's really long too. It's like 7 minutes long. I don't want to make the podcast too long.
I mean, you
Also, in the sand if you want us to like take audio bits and throw it.
But
But it's
yeah.
it's really spooky and scary. And the bridge area was actually by a bridge in there. There's photos of the bridge and stuff. I don't know the exact things. We'll get the information for it. But yeah, like one night, 2 girls were walking home from a friend's house and they just disappeared. And it was an area notably with Wendigo sightings in the past. And the girls just went missing. It was scary.
That's why I don't leave my house.
Yeah, you never see movies of this. You just don't go to your yeah.
So, Joy, what do you think about that story? Do you believe it? Do you believe it was a Wendigo that took the girls?
no.
Why not? There were like Wendigo settings in the area. Why don't you think it could have been the Wendigo?
Well, I mean, since you pointed out the bridge, how good was the bridge condition, Cameron?
It's like a sturdy like metal bridge. Like it didn't like just fall down or something. Like it's not like a wooden bridge.
Okay, I mean, then there's a chance that, they might have gotten drunk. Like, they might have snuck some booze from the camp counselor's office.
This was not at the camp. This was like at her like her hometown.
Oh, then they must have stole some booze from the booze store.
I don't think that's what happened. You're talking about people that are still missing to this day, and you're calling them moose heads.
I'm
right
not
now.
calling them moose heads, I'm calling them, like, they're teenagers. Most teenagers, steal beer and then get drunk.
I don't.
The world doesn't revolve around you, Cameron. Your family is nothing.
Okay, we're getting real. We're getting real dark here. Let's move to something a bit more upbeat
We're
now.
talking about dark, spooky
Let's
stuff.
move on to
Let's
the
get
fan
started.
Alright, so now it's time for the segment of the show where we talk about fan art. We're going to look at some of this here. It's going to be up on the screen. Alright, so here's the first one. What are your thoughts on this?
Brutal.
There's a lot of different art like variations,
It
interpretations.
it slightly reminds me of the Lich from Adventure Time, if you think about it. You ever
It's got a skull.
have you seen Adventure Time, the Lich?
I got to that season.
Like which season? The Lich.
That was
it?
like last year, Joe, and I was trying to watch it to impress a girl. So who knows what's going on right now?
Oh wow, wow! You really are missing out.
This, by the way, is by Camus Altamirano.
You better rewatch it.
Nice
Camus
one.
tomorrow. You should send him a message saying that it's fun. We should observe it.
You have to sign up for DeviantArt though.
Okay, next we have this.
Three-headed Wendigo. That's pretty
Pretty
fucking
creative,
awesome.
yeah.
I'm digging this.
You're liking, yeah. Do you like this, Joey?
Eh.
Look, it's even got ornaments on its antlers.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Alright,
Ooh.
look at that.
Look at that.
Got like
guy.
something coming out of the nose there.
Yeah.
Air.
Or just smoking.
Yep.
Some peace pipe.
There's
Yep.
a wall. We had a
It's
smoke. I was
420.
Skinwalker smoking
No, it's
story.
not
to tell you
anymore.
guys about when we do the Skinwalker episode.
Is it still? Is it April 20th still?
Yeah, it is. 6 more minutes. It's still 4:20.
Happy birthday, Hitler!
No.
No, we're not talking about that
No.
one right there.
Code Monkeys reference.
Okay. Yeah, but we're not going to.
We're not code monkeys.
What about that fan art?
Yep. Okay. Next we got.
Oh yeah, this
That's the more like Wendigo art, but
it's got a tongue thing going.
yeah. Do you have any Until
It's
Dawn? Do you have any Until Dawn?
No.
Like we should look that up in a second to go over that too.
Okay. We'll look it up once
Well,
we're.
yeah.
Okay. Next. Okay, look at that. That's pretty cool.
This is more of like the animal thing or whatever.
Animorphs.
What is it? Animorphs, yeah.
This reminds me of Gravity Falls.
Everything?
The what?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm
think
trying to
the
remember which
tattoos,
episode
I think.
had the.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, I'm only remembering the fan alternate universe called Monster Falls, which that's all I got. Like, if anyone knows what that means.
Nope.
Like all the main human characters are monsters and whatnot. Like Dipper's is deer.
There's literally Dipper
centaurs.
right there in the corner. So
Yeah,
I guess it's
oh,
Gravity Falls.
You just.
That is not Dipper.
No, he clicked on something. I don't know what he. Here. This is what he. This right.
Oh, is it not?
That is not
It looks
Dipper.
like him. It looks like him.
Like scroll down, look at the definition.
How it ends. Ace. Remember Ace
I
is?
changed his design a bit. Damn eyes though.
Yeah, but it says Dipper doesn't have the birthmark on his forehead. Where is it? It says. How many-
Okay, next. Okay, let's look at this. This is pretty cool. Got 2 in here.
Yeah, this person draws a lot of this character. You can see on the side.
Mm.
Alright,
Mixing
Carmen.
some drinks.
Mixing some
Yeah.
drinks. Yeah.
what do you think about this, Joy?
Eh,
You don't like it?
it's whatever. It's fan art.
Pretty nice.
Some fine, some whatever.
This is what this entire show is made for. Is the fan art.
Yeah, this is like the best part. Joey, get into it.
I'm trying to.
Come on, Joey.
We're not getting really saucy with this.
You and your saucy. Why do you want to see cryptid porn so badly?
Because it exists.
I know it does because I've seen it.
Yes.
When I was trying to find.
So, which websites did you go to?
I was just on Google.
Did you find any from Furfinity?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh God. It's like, okay, you know dating art. It's like anyone's art. Okay, so Furfinity is DeviantArt, just furry. Just all furry. Like,
They're very nice people.
yeah, they're nice
I know
people,
furry.
but
Yeah, they're nice.
but again,
And they also pay artists very well.
The furry that I'm friends with wants to be on the show.
why?
He wants to talk about the Loch Ness Monster. I know you like the Loch Ness Monster. He's doing research for it right now. I told him if he does enough research for it, he can be on the show. So
So I
he
have
can
nothing,
replace me. I can be a producer for that episode.
I have nothing against furries, but it's like sometimes it's hilarious to see how dark it can go.
Moving on.
Yeah, okay, that's... What's this here?
Oh, I don't like that.
That's cosplay of, I think, the Wendigo version of the Hannibal Lecter.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I have like an 8-minute drive now home. I don't like this, and it's dark outside. I don't like that's.
It's impressive.
That's impressive. I don't like
It's
that.
very
Though. I
dull.
don't like that though.
We need more cosplay.
That's-
this
I don't like that. I don't
This
like
is
that.
even better.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That's the cosplay. This
don't
is
like
from
that.
Hannibal Lecter.
I don't like that.
You can like see the
No,
bones. That's
no,
awesome.
no, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I'm pretty sure that cosplay wasn't.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Stop. Move on to the next one.
Okay, go to the next one.
You're good. All right. So
Okay.
this is a doll.
Okay,
That
I
was
like that a
me.
little bit more. I didn't like the last
So this
doll.
person made a doll of their version.
Oh,
of the
I look at her name. It's Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Wendigo. I appreciate that.
This is American. What's that? American Girl? Is that?
It looks more like Bratz than American Girl.
Yeah, it just looks like your average Bratz doll.
I love Bratz.
Just doing a little strut.
But it's over.
She's got lovely hair.
Yeah,
It's a very nice doll.
It's better than the last
Thanks.
one.
Bring the last one
No,
back.
don't.
The first
He's gonna have nightmares tonight.
I'm horrible.
Drink some milk. Here's some milk.
and in the streams, like that thing just pans like this. Whoop. And you see my face. Just edit my face over it, like.
I bet there's
Cameron.
video of it. If
No,
it's
stop.
from Hannibal Lecter.
No, stop.
Okay. Add that photo.
Oh, you know what? I'll get to it.
Oh, I like that.
What?
I like that.
Wendigo. I just thought this was funny.
It's only $14. That's like
We're gonna get those. What did we talk about last time? Like the Flatwoods monster. We're gonna get T-shirts for that from the fire department.
yeah.
You guys are wearing your pins.
Oh, I forgot.
That might have went through the washing machine. So.
I paid money for this.
How dare you, Cameron, whatever your middle name is, Anderson.
It's Limo.
Liar. Liar.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I want to get done with this because I want to go home now.
He's over it.
Sam, can I stay in your place tonight?
This was a cute little keychain.
That's pretty cool.
For $8.50, yeah.
I didn't like that at all. I can't get that on my head. It's like ingrained in my head now. I didn't
Just
like
imagine
that at
my
all.
face on it.
Stop. That is straight up like. No
Oh
joke.
my
Like, that is. I don't like looking at that at all. I don't like looking at that.
Are you saving it for last for the best because it's the best?
Oh, here, I'll
Save it for the best for last. Come, please.
Okay. So
Oh yeah, and you can buy this statue for $62. It's a 3D sculpture.
pretty cool.
I'm having anxiety attacks right
Uh,
now. Do not like that.
I don't.
There's no milk left.
I don't. Think
I know. I drank all the milk. No, there's Sprite left.
Why are you bringing 2 drinks or something?
Because I'm going through both of them.
Sprite and Nesquik.
It's a good combo.
Okay, so Joey has some art here. We're gonna try to get up here. This is the art Joey's found that he's like to share with us.
They got some
If
tough
we're looking
action
at
going.
fan art, we're going all the way in.
So Joey, why don't you break this down for the rest of us? Let us. What's your take on
Do
this?
you know him?
Well, I mean, what's there to say other than
Cameron is now regretting this whole podcast.
imagine a deer and a man.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No. Let's.
Come on, you wanted me to describe.
No, I do not want you to just use those terms.
What terms do you want me to say?
No, because you were
Colors
talking about this earlier, and I know
What?
exactly
You're
what this is.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next thing.
There's nothing left.
Look up to Until Dawn art or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
You mean the ones that don't have antlers and just bones?
Even Wendigo from Supernatural didn't scare me this much. It's the one from Hannibal. That
I thought it looked funny.
I don't know. Just
Still, I mean,
spooked the
but
fuck
again,
out of me.
It looked like weird. Like it didn't.
It looked
I don't
like
know.
that's something that would pop up and like kill me, like straight up, like it would like kill me and like do stuff.
really?
It just looked weird. I like saw
It looked like a gimp.
I don't like gimps.
What?
Like the gimp from Pulp Fiction.
What?
Have you ever seen
I mean-
Pulp
No, I
Fiction?
haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
Okay, you know what a gimp is, right?
No.
Okay, imagine a guy leather clad everywhere.
Okay, I do know what you're saying. Okay, never mind. Don't- Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should.
It's always
looking at these
it's
Wendigos
always
anymore
accompanied
either.
by a mistress.
Okay, these look fake at least though.
That one looks fake. It was just a man's spray.
I mean, and that I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the fact that it's like it might be. I'm afraid that that's a man that's gonna do stuff to me now or something. I don't know why. I feel like I'm gonna drive on the road and that's something in front of me or something.
See that?
It's just
That's
How
Frank.
is this any less?
Cause that looks fake.
It looks like a zombie.
What are you talking? The other one looked okay.
Okay, but
Avert your eyes. We're gonna look at the other one again now. Don't. It's back here. This looks so fake.
Yeah, it's pretty fake.
I don't know.
That's no less fake than the
I
other.
don't know, but when
He
you
just
pop
doesn't like black
It's safe. It's
things.
safe.
He just doesn't
Okay.
like. He doesn't
When you
like
did
Okay,
black.
but Wendigo had like the jump scares. I mean, Wendigo Until Dawn.
I played this entire
I've
game in
seen
the night,
all
so
Until Dawn because my brother and sister my brother and little sister were like, oh, Until Dawn's really good, really good. I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look good. So,
Okay. So, any final thoughts before we leave?
I want to go home. I'm scared. I'm in my safe place right now.
Oh,
I don't like this anymore. This is all my idea. I'm mastermind. I did all the research for this episode, and it spooked me out. I didn't get any spook reading any of the stuff I did today until I saw that photo. Until I saw that photo of that thing, and it spooked me out. I don't like that at all.
like little deer gimp.
Deer
Yeah.
gimp, yes. No more. Hashtag no more deer gimp.
Add that to your list.
Gimp deer.
There's about 50 more things on my hashtag list I usually go through, but
Okay, question for all three of you. Bill, Kevin, or Mike? What sounds like a better name?
does this have to do with Wendigos?
No, that has to do with marrying Tom.
Okay.
Mike.
Steve. That was one of the names, right?
No.
It was Bill, Kevin, and Mike.
Billiam.
So we're at 3-way tie.
I'm just gonna go for Kevin.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Again.
So back to any final thoughts, McKayla?
Nope. I had a great time again.
Okay. Joey, any final thoughts?
Whatever.
That's great. Okay. So thank you for watching another episode of CryptidCast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll catch us again next week. Yeah, pretty good.
Stop letting me.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Later, where we talk about plank wood.
Yeah, alright, goodbye.